I'm going to tell you the story of how I got this amazing Lazy Boy rocker recliner leather right now. The story of how I got my Lazy Boy rocker recliner is crazy because despite being Irish and wearing a shirt that says lucky, I usually nothing goes as planned for me, and that's the irony of everything. I'm like, haha, something's gonna go wrong. I'm jokingly like hoping it's not, but knowing it's going to go wrong. Because we all know how the selling apps are. Either nobody responds back, it's not as advertised, things of that nature. So I had needed a chair in my room to basically eat out of, lay down, my back hurts, sit in a chair kind of thing. Play games eventually, knew I was getting an Xbox. Excuse me, nachos. So I looked and looked and looked, never found anything. And then my mom just randomly sends me a link to this chair. And like, usually when she sends me something, it's not right. Like, it's not $35. It's like 350, things of that nature. So I was looking at it, looked at it, like it didn't dawn on me like the price. I believe she told me the price, but then I'm like, nah, that's probably not right. So I'm sitting there looking at the ad, like it took me like 30 seconds to realize, like I was like, okay, it's just a basic nice leather rock recliner. I was like, I think it was $35 the price, 35 or 45. I'm like, what? I'm thinking to myself, like, what? No way. I looked at it like multiple times. Cool. Just thought it was like a basic one from Big Lots. Either way, still, $35, you'll never find it again. I'm like, it's already been sold. He probably never took it down. Things of that nature. There's probably rips and tears and, oh, it's this broken. This is broken. You gotta fix this when you go to get it. All the things that like people are selling out. So I asked the guy, you still have it? Yes. Score. Everything works on it? Yep. Score. Is there any rips in the leather? No. Okay, sounds too good to be true. How come you're selling? Just too much stuff, I think he said, or something. It's in a storage unit, or I forget what he said. It's too much stuff. Cool. Can I come look at it? Sure. Okay. Well, my mom has the SV, so took our car and my car. Naturally, take two cars because meeting a complete stranger, for one, if one car breaks down, not that we're far away, but 20 minutes or something, but naturally you want to have two ways of escape. Like my car was in the front of the storage place we went to. We took our car in the back to load it up. So I get there and I'm like, oh, there's something's gonna be wrong with it. Like, my mind at the time. Think about it. You've seen horror stories on TV about murders. Just keep that in your mind, right? And you're thinking to yourself, a rocker recliner that's leather. Basic chairs sell for hundreds of dollars. Not leather, not recliner, not anything like that. It's like 35. What's wrong with it? I'm thinking to myself, you know where I'm going with this. Like, somebody died in the chair, right? If a family member died and they just don't want it. There was a murder in the house, they didn't want it. So somebody half-ass clean the chair, and I'm gonna get it home, I'm gonna find blood stains, or there's gonna be something wrong. But just my luck. I'm like, okay, because you hear horror stories about this happening. You bring home haunted furniture, right? So the guy's like, oh yeah, I'm in the back. Okay, the back of a storage unit, right? It was a storage unit, but that's already getting creepy, right? I mean, I would have gone by myself, but I needed her SUV. And this is why I'm always carrying my buck knife on me, because random strangers, you never know. Usually they just look at it and they're like, okay, big knife. Yeah, don't mess with this guy. He's already 6'4", 290. Okay, anyways, but so he's kind of by the entrance of the storage unit, and so my mom backs her car up, and he's like, oh yeah, it's just on the second floor. He has one of those big old flat dolly carts construction thing. And I kind of look at my mom jokingly, yeah, if I'm not back, you know where I'm at, second floor, elevator. And like kind of laugh, like ha ha ha, and like joking, like, but he's a complete stranger. So naturally, I go up the elevator with a complete stranger. Um, he has the chair ready to go. He's like, go ahead, sit in it. Like, this is too good to be true. Sit in the chair, it fit perfectly. He pulled it back and forth a couple times, looked it over, didn't see any damage. Score. Here you go, $35. I'm scored, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, what's actually happening with the chair? Am I gonna get it home and it's fucking haunted? Am I gonna get it home and it's gonna smell like somebody died in the chair? Am I gonna get it home? I'm gonna find like blood stains inside the leather that somebody tried to patch or something weird. But no, it's been a great chair, and I didn't know it was a Lazy Boy until I got home. Uh, I asked Meguiar's, does your leather cleaner conditioner, can you use it on like a reclining chair? And they said, you should be able to, but test like a spot in the back. I did, and it worked great. So I bought 2 leather cleaner sprays and 2 leather conditioners. And I ended up buying my girlfriend some Doc Martin boots that are leather. So I was like, here, you take one of each. So naturally, I get home, I'm cleaning the chair. The cleaner works pretty good for Meguiar's. Cleaned all, just dust whatever off the chair, made it look really nice. Waited, I think, a couple hours. Put the conditioner on there. Takes a while to soak in the leather. This leather was dry. It's in thing that stores you forever. You can push on leather and it's dry. So after spraying a conditioner, it soaked it up, and I could put more and it soaked it up, and you could see a difference. So I need to clean it again, though. I usually clean like once or twice a year, let it soak in that conditioner. But it came out clean, and like at this point, I'm still thinking it's just a basic Big Lots one. I'm like, this is pretty nice for Big Lots. Big Lots ones usually don't have like this thick of padding, and they're not solidly built. But the reason I was thinking it's Big Lots because it's not that heavy a recliner. Like me and somebody else looked into an SUV, no problem. So that's why I thought it was Big Lots. I just thought, well, Big Lots has some nicer leather, I guess. And I get it home, I'm like dusting off the back, whenever, flip it over, and then I noticed like a brochure. Like, does that say what I think it says? Sure enough, it's a freaking Lazy Boy chair. A Lazy Boy leather rocker recliner chair. And I paid under $50 for it. Insane deal of a lifetime. Nothing has been wrong with it. It's been great. I do need to adjust the little dial on the back, because sometimes if you pull the handle and you don't pull a certain way, it'll just boom, go shit on you. So it just needs like a hair of adjustment. But it's been the most amazing chair. I literally fall asleep all the time. If I sit in it, it's weird. It's almost like it's haunted. Like if you've sat in a Lazy Boy leather rocker recliner, it feels like it's haunted because it makes you tired. It's like you have narcolepsy, where you randomly fall asleep. It's weird. I don't know. Explain it. I don't know if it's actually haunted. I hope not. If it is, it's in a good way, and I've never had issues. I've never like been creeped out in the middle of the night, because that was my other concern. Like somebody died in the chair, somebody got murdered in the chair, and they had like redid the leather or something on there, or it came from like a murder house, like, which it could have, but I don't know that for sure. And as I'm talking about that, like I noticed the chair is going like this, and it kind of gave me a heart attack first because it's enough to notice it's rocking, but then I realized there's a fan. Let's see if I can get video of the chair so you can see what I mean also. But all my main concerns that I had about this chair were gone. After looking at it, you realize like nobody ever used this chair. It just sat somewhere and then sat somewhere until it was finally moved to a storage, and it sat there. So the guy literally just had stuff and he wanted to get rid of it. It's just dry leather, so I'm very careful when I condition it. So that's the story of how I scored on a Lazy Boy for under $50. Too good to be true? It wasn't. It was actually a nice chair. I wonder how much, if you want to look it up, you can, but how much a leather Lazy Boy rocker recliner back in 2006, because I believe that's what the paper says. And I was looking at, the only thing there is an option for this chair is that swivel base, which would be nice, but you'll never find one for this. And it would be too heavy to move around, stuff like that. So this is actually better without it. But yeah, best, by far, hands down, thing I found on any app ever was this chair. Total lifesaver, total game changer. If you have a bad back, get yourself a Lazy Boy. Top quality. Usually I'm a fan of cloth more. I know it's hard to clean and stuff like that, but cloth is hard to clean, but it usually lasts longer. Like leather is, but this leather is so freaking amazing. It's not no cheap like Big Lots leather. I don't know where. It's very plush like leather. Like you sink into it, but you don't sink into it, if you know what I'm saying. Like it's supportive leather, but it's also soft. And they got just the right amount of padding on there for your arms and stuff like that too. So that's my Lazy Boy story. Like 10 minutes in basically, but it's weird. Like if you've ever bought a used like nice recline chair and it's super cheap on the app, your mind goes to like somebody died in the chair it was in a house or something got murdered, this SOB is gonna be haunted. But so far, I haven't woken up at night to go to the bathroom and it's sitting there going like this. If it did, I would sell it in a heartbeat. I'm not gonna lie, or I would just film it, and make content, and then I would have a ghost for content, and make millions.